Once upon a time, there lived a woman called Jasinta. Jacinta has a simple family, her husband Julius, and their two daughters, Joyce and Jane. Jacinta is a primary school teacher and earns a minimum average income, while her husband owns a small dry cleaning shop. And though they did not earn so much, they were happy and managed their little resources well, as they could afford to eat 3 square meals a day and pay for and acquire other basic needs. Jacinta and her family lived in a 2-bedroom flat apartment. The apartment is a rented one with 3 other flats occupied by 3 other families. Jacinta lived peacefully with her neighbors. Then one time, a family moved out, and a few weeks later, a new family moved in to occupy the empty flats. Now, this new family and now Jacinta's new neighbor was called Mrs. Tina. Mrs. Tina also have 2 daughters who are of the same age grade with Jacinta's daughter. She, however, informed Jacinta and the other neighbors that her husband is abroad, precisely in the UK, and that they were renting the apartment while they await the completion of their own house, which is ongoing. Mrs. Tina's flat was directly opposite Jacinta's flat. So, most times, Jacinta sees her whenever she goes in and out of her flats. This is because Jacinta would always rush to peep through her window whenever she hears the sound of the door from Mrs. Tina's flat. Jacinta finds Mrs. Tina interesting, and that is why she does this. Mrs. Tina is a very stylish woman and dresses elegantly at all times. She always looks expensive, and this fascinated Jacinta. So, subconsciously, Jacinta started seeing Mrs. Tina as her idol. Soon, she befriended her. "This your dress is so lovely. It looks so good on you. The color of this dress matches your skin so well. Your bag so much complements your beautiful shoe." Jacinta would often compliment Mrs. Tina anytime she steps out of her flat. "Thank you, my dear. Thanks for your kind compliments," Mrs. Tina would reply. One evening, Jacinta came back from the market and went to the back side of the compound to remove the clothes she had earlier spread on the line before going out that day. As she got to the back side, she saw that someone else had also spread their clothes at the other empty line. Looking at the clothes and seeing how beautiful and stylish they were, Jacinta knew immediately that they were no other than Mrs. Tina's dresses. She couldn't control herself and began rubbing her hands through each of the clothes in admiration. "I can see you like them," came Mrs. Tina's voice from behind. She had come to remove her clothes from the line as well, and saw how Jacinta took time to admire each of the clothes. So, she stood there watching Jacinta for some time, whilst Jacinta was not even aware that she was being watched. "Oh, sorry, I am sorry, please. I was only admiring them," Jacinta said, startled and stuttering. "I see that you like my clothes a lot. There are some I have been thinking of giving out. I can give them to you if you want them," Mrs. Tina said. Jacinta's face widened with smile. "Oh, thank you. I would love nothing more," she said immediately. Mrs. Tina asked her to follow her into her flat, and Jacinta did. Jacinta sat in Mrs. Tina's living room, filled with excitement and anticipation, as Mrs. Tina went in to bring out the clothes she intended giving away. Moments later, she came out with a box filled with clothes and asked Jasinta to make her picks. Jasinta excitedly started picking from the box full of clothes. A moment later, two girls came out running. "Mommy, mommy, the white sunglass matches my dress better, and the pink one Anna's dress. But Anna would not let me have the white sunglass," one of Mrs. Tina's daughter, who ran out of their bedroom, said, complaining about her sister to their mother. It was Christmas period, and Mrs. Tina had bought dresses and fashion glasses for her daughters, amongst other things. She had asked them to try on the dresses in their room before she had gone out to remove her clothes from the line. But because Jasinta had to follow her inside, she had not gone back inside to join her daughters. So, the girls have run out to complain to their mother about their minor sibling misunderstanding, typical of children. Now, the girls asked the dress their mother had bought for them on as they ran out to complain. The dresses were so beautiful and looked expensive, and immediately Jasinta saw this, she was wowed. "Are these the dresses you bought for your daughters for Christmas?" Jasinta asked, her expression showing that she was blown away. "Yes, so it is one of the dresses," Mrs. Tina replied. "Did you say one of the dresses? So there are more?" Jasinta asked, more thrilled. "Yes, I usually buy at least 3 outfits for my children every Christmas period. One for Christmas, one for 26th on Boxing Day, and one for the New Year," Mrs. Tina explained. That evening, as Jasinta returned to her flat, she couldn't stop thinking about Mrs. Tina and her children's Christmas clothes. Chai, this life no balance so. When some of us struggle to buy just one clothes for their children for Christmas, some are buying 3. Kai, but say, what kind of destiny do I have? What kind of man did I marry? People are marrying good husbands, but me, I ended up with one who cannot even give I and my children a good life like other men do for their wives. My own husband does not even have any ambition, nor has he ever thought of leaving this country for once. Jasinta thought in her heart that evening as she prepares dinner. "Honey, I know you have a project going on, no? But can you at least spare some money to buy extra quality clothes for our children?" Jasinta said to her husband after dinner that evening. "Our children cannot be wearing low budget clothes all the time, as if we are the most treasured people in this life. I don't think I want our children to wear the clothes we had previously bought for them for Christmas. Those ones are from a cheap boutique. I want us to buy another one, something more beautiful and a little expensive from a better boutique," Jasinta said to her husband. Julius was surprised and wondered why his wife was now complaining about the boutique they bought things from. She had never had problems with it before. "Why now?" he asked. "Because I am tired of low budget things. Our children should match up to other rich children this Christmas," Jasinta replied. Julius reminded her that they were on a budget because they were saving money to also build their own house, and told her that they should just make do with the clothes that they had already bought for the Christmas and promise to get more expensive clothes for their children in the next Christmas. But Jasinta was not pleased with her husband's response. She grumbled and continued even till the next day. The next afternoon, Jasinta went to her husband's laundry shop to give him a keg of liquid soap he had forgot to pick with him that morning when he was leaving the house, and had asked Jasinta to bring for him. There were a few much customers who had come to pick up their dry cleaned clothes when Jacinta got there. Amongst these people was a particular young lady, just barely around 23 years old. She is a maid and have been sent by her boss, her employer, to come pick up clothes from Julius's shop. The girl was holding with her a white polythene bag. In the polythene bag were two beautiful dresses for young girls. The dresses were for the daughters of the lady's boss. It was their Christmas dresses, and the lady's boss had asked her to pick it up also from the boutique she had bought them, having made payment for them earlier. So, the maid had picked it up first before coming to pick the dry cleaned clothes from Julius's shop. Now, the maid was so pressed and could not hold it any longer when she got to Julius' dry cleaning shop. So, she asked to use the restroom and dropped the polythene bag with the dresses in a corner of the shop. However, when she returned, she could not find it. The polythene bag was missing. The lady complained about it to Julius, and Julius and his assistants searched their wardrobes amongst other customers' clothes, but could not find it. They also searched all the bags of the other customers in the shop, even when they said they had not taken it. Julius also placed a call to the other customers who had been there earlier but had left, yet no one had admitted to have seen or taken the dresses. The maid left Julius's shop feeling sad. Well, the culprit was Jacinta. She had spotted the dresses inside the polythene bag where the lady had left it. Jacinta had quickly picked it and had walked back home very fast. The next day was Christmas, and Jacinta wore her daughters the dresses she had stolen. Her daughters were thrilled when they saw the dress. "Mommy, we love this one. It is so beautiful," they said. Julius was surprised by the new expensive dresses and asked Jacinta how she got them. "I bought them with my Christmas bonus," Jacinta lied. Julius doubted her. "But your usual Christmas bonus can't buy these dresses. They look quite expensive," Julius said. "I got a bonus increase now," Jacinta said in defense, and Julius decided to let it be. Well, after everyone had all dressed up, they proceeded to go to church for a short Christmas service that morning. But as they were on their way, Jacinta's daughters began barking like dogs. At first, Jacinta and Julius thought that their daughters were being naughty and scolded them, asking them to stop. However, they soon realized that it was no joke and that it was something beyond the ordinary. Their daughters kept barking non-stop that they had to turn back and return home due to the stares they got from passers-by. Well, the barking did not stop. Jacinta's daughter barked the whole day and even the whole Christmas night till the next morning. Julius, unable to bear this mysterious occurrence, ran to their church pastor, who followed him home to come pray for the girls. While he prayed, he got a revelation which showed that the girls started barking as a result of the stolen dresses. He asked Jacinta to confess and say where she got the dress, and Jacinta admitted before her husband and the pastor that she stole the dresses because she wanted her daughters to wear better and expensive dresses for Christmas, and because she wanted them to match up to Mrs. Tina's daughter and other wealthy women who bought expensive clothes for their children for Christmas. Jacinta was asked to return the dresses and confess to the maid. When the maid had returned home that day to tell her boss that she lost the dresses, her wicked boss had not believed her and accused her of selling the dresses to make money for herself. Her wicked boss had beat her up mercilessly, and in the course of that had damaged one of her eyes. Out of pain and grief that night, the maid brought out a spiritual magic wand her grandmother had given to her and placed a curse on whoever stole the dresses and would wear the dresses. And it is what had caused Jacinta's daughter to begin barking like dogs when they wore the dresses. Jacinta returned the dresses and confessed to the maid and her boss, asking for their forgiveness. She and her husband were forced to bear the hospital bills for the eye surgery the maid had to undergo. And from that time, Jacinta learns to be content and appreciates whatever she is blessed with and can afford, be it Christmas or not. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope you would count your blessings this Christmas instead of making comparison and being ungrateful or going the extreme to get things beyond your capacity. Thank you for watching, and I want to use this medium to wish you all, my dearest fans, a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance. Bye!